Could this mysterious flower-shaped object that was discovered on Mars be proof of an ancient Martian ocean that once flowed on the surface? Or could this be, if we're lucky, some sort of crazy, trippy alien mushroom that when consumed takes you literally to another dimension?
I'm freaking out, man. You are freaking out, man.
By the way, this guy is a gangster. Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're having a good night. For today's video, I have just a couple of interesting news bites, but nonetheless, I find them very intriguing. The first of which you may have seen a big news story hitting the web and almost every news outlet out there. NASA rover spots unreal Mars flower formation. Now, I posted this to my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter before I made this video, and a lot of people thought that it looked like fossilized coral, like you would find in the ocean. And so the images you're seeing here were snapped by NASA's Mars Curiosity rover, which is one of the remaining rovers we have up there still able to move across the Martian plains. And so you're seeing the different imagery here. Some of them were taken by the so-called ChemCam that's on the rover. But yeah, man, this thing is really mysterious. And when I first saw it, I thought coral reef. I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like coral. Other people have said it looks like what would happen when lightning strikes sand and creates these strange glass formations, but others have said, well, there usually has to be some water within that sand for it to create something like what we're seeing here. And of course, NASA, never a straight answer, has put out the most boring answer of all of them. Referring back to this CNET article here, it says, quote, "Hello beautiful, NASA's Curiosity rover snapped a gorgeous, delicate formation on Mars that looks like it could be a branching piece of ocean coral." Well, it's not coral, but it's worth contemplating how we see familiar Earth objects in random shapes on Mars. The minuscule Martian sculpture invites poetic comparisons. It resembles a water droplet captured at the moment of explosion against a surface. Kevin Gill, famous for processing NASA space images, brought these images to the public's attention with a tweet this past Friday describing the formation as a, quote, Martian flower. The image came from Curiosity's Mars Hand Lens Imager, which NASA describes as the rover's version of a magnifying lens. So this is a very small object. You know, I think it's definitely obvious, and the article here at least alludes to the fact that it is evidence that there was water on Mars. The evidence has shown that there were oceans on Mars, there were lakes, and if you look at the evidence I've posted on this channel, there were definitely alien civilizations. We can still see the ruins and the square building foundations on Mars today, taken by satellite imagery. I recently posted some images of these mysterious domed shaped structures being captured up on Martian hills by the rover and past rovers that are no longer alive sending back images. And something else that really intrigued me and that I've never really gotten an answer to is these mysterious rock piles. At least that's what they look like to me. They look like handmade rock piles. What you're seeing are actual legit rover images taken on Mars around 7 or 8 years ago, maybe longer, of what appear to be very sharp and pristine and well put together, almost huts, whether it's a stick hut or rocks being put into just a very mysterious pile here. And as you're seeing in this comparison image, these are some rock piles that were created by humans here on planet Earth. And when you look at them side by side with the Mars imagery here, it looks damn near identical. And so Mars is a great mystery. I think there was civilization. NASA is never going to tell us, but the anomalous structures, the UFOs, the strange imagery where in the distance it looks as if dirt is flying up from the ground, like an object is blasting up out of the surface of planet Mars, like you're seeing in this photo here. Again, more mystery domes or spheres sitting in the middle of craters And then just a couple of 100 feet away is this mysterious dark triangular structure that looks to be partially covered up by the Martian sand. And heck, even the planet itself, when you look at it from space, zoomed out, and you go to the massive volcano on the surface of Mars, Olympus Mons, you'll notice that Mars, no joke, has a formation of volcanoes that create a perfect triangle, with the largest of the four, Olympus Mons, being the tip or spearhead. Isn't that amazing? In my opinion, Mars is still very active. There may not be life on the surface, but I definitely think that there could be underneath the surface, and we definitely know the volcanoes there are still active, even though NASA has said that they're not. I did a video years ago where these giant plumes of what looked like gas or mist were coming out of one of these volcanoes that make up the mysterious triangle. And it was just massive. It was like 1,000 miles long, 100 miles wide, this giant smoke plume coming out like a factory. But anyway, tell me what you think about these stone piles on Mars, the square building foundations, the domes, the monoliths, and yes, even the flower-like psychedelic alien mushrooms. So put your comments down below. Now moving on to some UFO footage for you guys. I got 2 clips here, and both of them are equally mysterious, eerie, and one of them happened down here on planet Earth. The other one happened right above our sun. So here is the UFO clip that happened down here at Ground Zero, where a motorist out in Marion, Ohio, very close nearby to me, captured on video driving down the road at night in their car these 2 sets of stationary lights that during the entirety of the footage are just hanging there in the sky, tilted sort of at an angle, not moving, no blinking lights, and well, check this out.
Oh my god, what is that? What is that? What the fuck? What is this? Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, UFOs. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that. Oh my god.
Okay, so I'm showing you the zoomed in shots here, and I'm just going to let this play. But when I look at these things, and you guys are seeing it here, I look for signs that they could be drones or planes. I look for blinking FAA lights. I look for movement that would lead me to believe that it's a plane in the distance or a Chinese lantern, and I see none of that in this footage. We have 2 sets of 4 very bright lights just sitting here, lighting up the dark above Marion, Ohio. And here is the video inverted, so we can try to see a shape behind these things, and it does pick up what looks like a sort of dark shape of some kind, you know, and each of the lights looks to be the same size. And again, if you want to, when this video is over, go back over the footage again and notice they're not planes. Not at one point do they turn. Do the lights change? Do any of the lights disappear? These things are just sitting there, hanging in the sky, not moving, not turning, and the guy who recorded this knew that it was definitely something out of the ordinary. So really cool footage. Tell me what you guys think down below. And remember, if any of you get UFO footage or find it, send me the link to it. But if it's your own, upload it to YouTube and then email me the link to the YouTube video. That way I can download it. All of my contact info is down below. So lastly today, I want to show you guys this very cool and crazy UFO activity happening around our sun. If you followed me for a while, you'll know all of the evidence I've posted, my theories on these giant UFOs that are most likely siphoning energy from our sun to power their craft. These giant ships, some of which are many, many times the size of planet Earth. And in this footage, captured by the SOHO stereo satellites that are out in space, constantly monitoring the sun and taking real-time video of it as the sun is spinning, you'll notice what appears to be a giant, and I mean massive, rectangular object that appears and is captured as it looks to be directly above the sun And as you're seeing here, this is unlike any glitch I've ever seen before. And what's crazy about it is that when you look at it up close, you can see that the object, the back of it, seems to be more in shadow, just as you would think an object would be facing a very bright light. And then you can see some of the light actually splashing through and around part of the object down at the corner here, where more of the object is lit up. A lot more light is getting through, but the back is in total shadow, and it looks like a three-dimensional object to me. And as this loops over, I mean, you guys tell me what you think. We've seen these things come in giant spheres, all the way down to tiny little cigar-shaped craft, but I don't know that I've seen a rectangle, especially the size of this, that looks like it's halfway in the sun, to where the thing is heating up and glowing hot, but yet still able to hold up against the heat radiating from our star. So tell me what you think. And I love how the top of this giant rectangle, half of it looks to be obfuscated or covered up by the sun's rays and smoke, to where you can't even hardly see the top part. And then you have the bottom here where there looks to be shadow and reflections coming off of this thing, where it's darker at one point and brighter at the other end. I mean, and not to mention the fact that there is a little solar flare beginning to happen right beneath the object, which is something else that occurs a lot. Whenever these UFOs appear, it's almost like they trigger a solar flare, which is an explosion on the surface of the sun. And maybe that is what this mystery rectangle is doing. But anyways, guys, tell me what you think down below. As always, if you like this video, please throw it a like, post a comment down below, which will help boost the channel to more people. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. My prayers to everyone out there in Ukraine. Keep up the good fight. Truly stay safe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.